For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today, and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
News team, assemble!
Joining us live because if you want to know anything about the Outer Banks, Sam Walker's the dude to fill you in.
The sea was angry that day, my friends. Like an old man trying to send back soup in a deli.
Always appreciate talking to you.
Always good stuff with Sam Walker in the Outer Banks.
Now here's Les Nessman and the news.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to OBX Today live here on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Sam Walker. It's December 29th, 2021. Book of Boba Fett Day, dropping on Disney Plus a couple hours ago. I did not get up early to watch it. That's later today. We scheduled that out. All right, coming up on the show, we've got all your headlines for this Wednesday morning as we wind down 2021 here at obxtoday.com. We will be with you tomorrow, off on Friday, and then back to our normal Monday through Friday schedule next week. And let's get right to the news this morning as COVID-19 cases continue to explode everywhere. And this morning, folks traveling on the Hatteras Ocracoke Ferry are being impacted, and also the Currituck Knott's Island ferry route is also being impacted this morning. Well, they did clear that load up just a few minutes ago from the ferry dock there in Hatteras. As you can see, our relatively live shot courtesy NCDOT web camera that's there. It's a still shot. You saw when we opened it up there, it was lined up, but they've got everybody loaded and off. But there has been a cut in the number of runs, just 14 runs today through January 3rd from each side. Let me make sure I count my count right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 14. They just had to 8 o'clock. And basically they're doing them 5, 6, 8, 9, and 11 a.m., noon, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7:30, 9, 10 p.m., and midnight. And then on the half hour, starting at 4:30 from the Ocracoke side is how the ferries are running right now for Hatteras Ocracoke. The Knott's Island route was closed on Tuesday because of, again, crew issues. The ferry division saying 4 employees tested positive for the virus, 3 under quarantine due to exposure at Hatteras, while there was only 1 employee under quarantine to the Currituck Knott's Island route because of the small crew that they use there. That's why they are running a different or shorter, or rather did not run yesterday at the Currituck Knott's Island. Let's see. They are going to run on normal schedule today, however, for the Currituck Knott's Island. So they were only off yesterday because of that crew issue. And again, that is because of positive tests and quarantine for the ferry routes. Passengers are encouraged to remain in their vehicles during shorter crossings and reminded they must wear face coverings when inside all passenger lounges and terminals at the North Carolina Ferry Division. That news coming yesterday, as at the same time yesterday, latest reports from Dare County Health and Human Services, also Albemarle Regional Health Services, and the first report from the state since before the holiday about the COVID-19 numbers. Nearly 1 out of every 4 COVID tests administered in Dare County came back positive over the last 7 days. That mirrors a similar spike going on around the country. And the Omicron variant is now estimated to be the dominant variant not only in the Outer Banks, but in all of North Carolina. The Dare County weekly report issued on Tuesday said the positive test rate jumped from 11.1% the previous week to 24.6% for the week ending December 26th. Percentage of positive tests statewide reported Tuesday was 21.9%. That's the highest since the pandemic began and more than double the rate compared to last Wednesday. Hospitalizations in North Carolina also up 18% from a week ago, 1,922 people, with 1 of every 4 patients in intensive care units. But while we've seen a jump in the number of hospitalizations in North Carolina, that's about half of where they were at the peak last year. So that is one thing that's been noted in the data, is that while they've seen this jump in hospitalizations, about half of where we were a year ago. In Dare County, 14 residents are currently hospitalized. 26 people have died in Dare County as of Tuesday's report. We've got the rest of the details in Dare Health and Human Services right now at obxtoday.com. The U.S. record for daily cases broken yesterday. The 7-day average topping 267,000 on Tuesday. That's the highest that's been noted, according to data trackers, since the pandemic began. The previous U.S. daily case record was set in January 11th, when the 7-day average was 251,000. An arrest was made in a case that we first learned about last month in Southern Shores. That was Southern Shores Police arresting an Elizabeth City woman in connection with a 2020 overdose death, along with 2 men on unrelated charges, including carrying a gun illegally and allegedly stealing power tools from a store. A warrant was issued in November for the arrest of Tani Raquel Music, 32, of Elizabeth City, on a charge of conspiracy to sell and deliver heroin. Christopher Robert Evans, age 49, was taken into custody on a charge of felony death by distribution and sell, deliver heroin. Those charges stem from the December 2020 death of Jessica Lee Music, 33. That happened at a home on Ocean Boulevard last year. According to a press release, officers had received several calls that Tani Music had been spotted in Southern Shores on Sunday. They saw her get into a vehicle, then executed a traffic stop and arrested her on the outstanding warrant along with other charges. Also arrested was Stephen Bass, 31, of Hertford, for multiple charges, and Aaron Harvell, age 51, of Shawboro. We got more details about that story at obxtoday.com. The scheduled August 2024 parole for one of 2 men convicted of the murder of Michael Jordan's father nearly 3 decades ago has been canceled. The state's post-release supervision and parole commission announced in 2020 that Larry Demery would be released as part of an agreement in which he would take part in a scholastic and vocational program designed to prepare him for life outside prison. Now, initial release date was August 2023, but it was later pushed back by 12 months. The commission said Tuesday in a news release that Demery's agreement had been terminated effective immediately, but gave no reason. The release said that Demery is serving a life sentence for the first-degree murder of James Jordan in 1993 in Lumberton, would be reviewed again for parole in December of 2023. Additional information on Demery's situation was not released. Now 46, Demery serving a sentence at a minimum security prison in Lincoln County, northwest of Charlotte. His record shows 19 infractions lodged against him since 2001, including 2 for substance possession earlier this month. The state presented evidence at the trial that James Jordan was killed in July 1993 as he napped alongside an access road off Highway 74 in Lumberton near I-95. Prosecutors said the motive was robbery. During the trial, prosecutors used testimony from Demery to identify Daniel Green as the trigger man. Jordan's body was found 11 days later in South Carolina. Both Demery and Green were 18 at the time. Demery was sentenced to life plus 40 years after pleading guilty to first-degree murder on other charges. He was resentenced in 2008 after an error was found in his initial sentencing. Then he received a life sentence, making him eligible for parole. A judge sentenced Green to life in prison and 10 years. A judge refused in 2019 to allow an evidentiary hearing that could have led to a new trial for Green. It's OBX Today Live, presented by Gallup Funeral Services here on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Sam Walker. Make sure you mash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell to know whenever we go live. More of your Wednesday headlines right after this.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today, and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
My name is Chad Williams. I'm the athletic director and the basketball coach at First Flight High School.
You're in the middle, eyes a little bit, face all the way, keep going to block.
4 years ago, my father was diagnosed with a very extremely rare form of cancer and was given 10 months to live. And his name was Guy Williams. And so some of my friends in the coaching fraternity found out about it. We were invited to play in a Coaches versus Cancer event in Asheville. And one of the requirements to go was you had to do a fundraiser. So my idea for the fundraiser was to put on our own showcase in the East. And so we called it the Good Guys versus Cancer after my dad, and also because I solicited some of my really good friends in the business that I've known for a while that I wanted to come, and they immediately said absolutely. And so it's sort of grown very quickly since then. It's really exciting for me to watch this thing grow. My goal was to be a top 5 event in North Carolina within 5 years, and I think we're certainly there now. We've partnered with the Hoop State and Phenom Hoops, and that's sort of taken us off to another level.
So the Good Guys versus Cancer is an event that we circle on our calendars every year. We love coming here because it's a great cause. Coach Williams is a good friend of all of ours. We love him to death. We go to a lot of tournaments year round, and I can honestly say this is probably the best ran tournament in terms of the environment, the hospitality, just the quality of the games, everything all involved. It just makes it a great event.
We've been coming to the Coaches versus Cancer event ever since it started. So when this whole idea was birthed and his dad was battling, it was a no-brainer for us and our kids. It gave us a great opportunity to come and play basketball, but also to realize it's bigger than basketball and the cause and what we were coming for. And so we've loved coming. As soon as you cross those bridges and get over here, it's just an awesome place to be. And we get to spend some time, and every year we take the kids up on Jockey's Ridge, and you get to see kids just have a blast, and an amazing community, and we're always just really excited to come back here every year.
there's probably 15 college coaches in there right now, recruiting, and there's probably 30 Division I players who've been here this weekend. So I think, we've brought a brand of basketball that hasn't been seen east of 95, and it's something that, we're really proud of where we are right now.
It's just such an amazing cause, and I know it means so much to our coach, and I'm just thankful that we get to have this tournament and get to play in it. Sometimes on the beach we don't get to see all the talent that's out there, and it's a blessing to get to see it, to be honest.
Yeah, we got number 1 in the state, number 3 in the state, and number 5 in the state here. It's traveling all over from Western North Carolina. We got Moravian Prep coming from like 8 hours away. A lot of money raised too.
I want to play the best people we can play. I want our kids to have an experience that they'll remember. I think it's special for our kids for that, but I do think, maybe it's me selfishly thinking, but I think they know how much it means to me, and that's what makes it special.
All right, back here on OBX Today Live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Sam Walker, presented by Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Make sure you mash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell to know whenever we go live. Employees of the QVC Distribution Center that burned down December 18th out in Rocky Mount. One employee died in that fire. Those employees are going to get paid through February 1st, the company extending its shutdown pay through the end of January, after previously offering $500 emergency allowance to every Rocky Mount employee. About 2,000 employees were left without a job after that fire back earlier this month at that facility. It's right along US 64 between Tarboro and Rocky Mount. After February 1st, applicable separation benefits will begin for impacted team members. QVC said all those who lost their job will be eligible to receive at least 4 weeks of separation pay or a lump sum equivalent, while employees enrolled in a benefits plan will have coverage through February, then be eligible for COBRA coverage. Career transition services will also be provided to impacted employees as well. That included potential internal roles within the company, partnerships with local organizations for additional job opportunities, financial education, interview training, and other details. Finally, QVC said it would be donating $100,000 to the Edgecombe Rocky Mount Employees Assistance Fund, which was created by the United Way Tar River, Carolina's gateway partnership with the Rocky Mount Chamber of Commerce. So it would also donate to many of the first responder organizations that helped the fire or fight that fire. About 1.5 million square feet of the QVC distribution center went up in flames on December 18th. The company's second biggest 21-year-old Kevon Ricks was killed in that blaze. Aunt said he'd been working at the facility for about 3 weeks when the fire happened and left behind a young son. Fire crews continue to battle a blaze out in the North Carolina mountains near Grandfather Mountain. 700 acres. It doubled in size and is 20% contained. That fire is in the U.S. Forest Service Grandfather Ranger District in Avery County in the Lost Cove Wilderness Study Area. Fire began near Bee Mountain, a remote part of the Lost Cove Wilderness Study Area about 10 miles southeast of Linville on Christmas Eve. And is now backing downhill from a ridge to the south and east, about a mile from the base of Grandfather Mountain. Of course, we talked about the last couple of weeks about this continuing drought in North Carolina. We are in the severe drought category. The new drought map comes out tomorrow, and we'll have the details about that at obxtoday.com after that is released. We are still reviewing all the top stories at obxtoday.com from 2021. And one of those stories was the story of the McGreevy family, a family from Virginia Beach. Their son, Connor, 17, died tragically in a crash on the Wright Memorial Bridge on May the 15th. And we do have details, but there's still actually a GoFundMe page that's been set up that remembrance of that teenager and who was best known for his boundless energy and infectious laugh. And we've got details. We've been reviewing all of our top read stories at obxtoday.com. The GoFundMe that was set up for the family that was had a goal of $15,000, raised more than $39,000, and is still open. If you'd like to make a contribution, you'll find a link at obxtoday.com and more details about exactly what happened with that crash back in May of this year. And that's part of our series running through the top stories at obxtoday.com throughout the year. Back to some more stuff at obxtoday.com on our Things to Do page. A couple of events are coming up. The Theater of Dare's 31st season continues. Gets back underway after the new year. January 6th through the 16th, there will be performances of 5 women wearing the same dress. This will be at the Dare County Arts Council in downtown Manio. They'll have evening shows on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then a matinee on Sunday, the first 2 weeks of the year. Sponsored by Bayside Body Shop Incorporated. Tickets are on sale now, and they're going to go fast because they are playing at the Dare County Arts Council, which is a small venue, and their last couple of shows have sold out. So make sure you get over and purchase those tickets right now if you want to see the latest from the Theater of Dare. And again, that's coming up next week, starting next weekend, and the first 2 weekends of the new year. And tickets are on sale now, and you can get them at the link on the Things to Do page at obxtoday.com. Of course, downtown Mania will be the center of activity on New Year's Eve. It is Midnight Magic in Mania, new name for the event, which will be happening on Friday night. Gets underway at 6 p.m. with the DJ Mix and Mike. 8 o'clock Trick Fly plays, and then at 10 o'clock Johnny Waters and Company. And then the fireworks at midnight. There's also a kids countdown going on at 8 o'clock. Activities go from 6 to 10 with the food vendors, kids games, and all types of other cool stuff in downtown Manio. The fireworks at midnight, the largest fireworks display in North Carolina to celebrate the new year. And you get details on that, Things to Do page at obxtoday.com. Now, if you're on Hatteras Island, there is some things coming up for this year on New Year's Eve. And our friends down at islandfreepress.org got a great story about that. Cafe Pamlica's 4-course New Year's Eve dinner in Buxton, Pangea Taverns, Old Farts New Year's Eve dinner. Lighthouse Sports Bar is also going to have a New Year's Eve party as well on Hatteras Island. And also something else that Joy found at Island Free Press. There's a new horror movie with ties of Blackbeard the Pirate's going to be filming on the Outer Banks the month of January. This is being put together by Taylor Film Group. It's called Outer Banks Slasher. A story about a descendant of Blackbeard living on the Outer Banks becomes possessed by a family heirloom and terrorizes local residents. They'll be filming in multiple spots on the North Beach, Kitty Hawk, Kettleville Hills, Nags Head, and also possibly in Hatteras. Also going to be filming a party scene at Longboards in Kitty Hawk next Saturday the 8th. And there is more details about the movie, and we got a link for you at obxtoday.com. More of OBX Today Live is next here on Facebook and YouTube. Stick around.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today, and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
Our pet of the week for this week is Ezekiel. Ezekiel is about 4 to 5 years old and is super sweet. He loves getting attention and even chirps at you for more. He was brought in as a stray, but his personality has house cat written all over it. Ezekiel gets along great with other cats, but is not a fan of dogs. To adopt Ezekiel or foster one of our other animals, you can visit us Monday through Saturday at our shelter located in Manio. Happy holidays from everyone here at the OBX SPCA. We hope you have a great holiday with friends, family, and of course, all the pets. For more information, visit our website at www.obxspca.org or visit our OBX SPCA Facebook page.
Whalehead was built by a wealthy couple from the Northeast, from Philadelphia, Mr. and Mrs. Edward Collins Knight Jr. They were here basically because they wanted to hunt. Corolla had an incredible reputation for the amount of wildfowl that was here. During the Civil War, a number of Northern soldiers were down here and saw how many birds were here and the incredible hunting opportunities, and word spread. Restaurants up in like New York and Philadelphia, so some of the things on the menus were Currituck duck. So it really got an incredible reputation for the hunting opportunities here. And we are on the Atlantic Flyway, so the birds, you know, at that time, definitely because of the water quality, there were so many of them. By the 1920s, a lot of the big time of the market hunting was already passed. They'd passed conservation laws by then. So they were here pretty much for sport. The northern Outer Banks were basically, at that time period, just hunt club after hunt club, interspersed with a few villages. Corolla was one of them. It was basically a kind of a government village in a way because there was government money there from the life-saving service and the lighthouse. There were a couple churches, there was a school. So it was just kind of a village. The landscape was very flat. The dunes were not built until later. So here at Whalehead, you would have been able to see the ocean and the sound. How did the houses end up getting here? There was no road here until 1984. So the area didn't really get developed till after that. So this gives you just much more of an idea of what this area was like, the old Outer Banks. The house is very elaborate. The building was incredibly an extensive build. So it took 3 years. They didn't stint on anything. You actually will be incredibly impressed when you walk inside because the house looks a lot smaller from the outside than it is on the inside. There are actually 5 full floors. Whalehead is one of the best examples of Art Nouveau decoration in the country, or the decorative style. Probably the most famous Art Nouveau stylist was Tiffany. And in this house in Whalehead, we had Tiffany throughout the house. Art Nouveau looked to nature for its inspiration, and you can really see that in the house with carved leaves on the furniture. Our dining room, the water lilies are carved on the walls, into the furniture, into the Tiffany sconces. But it's just a very good example of that. We believe that Mrs. Knight just really liked Art Nouveau because it had gone out of style by the time they built this building. Mrs. Knight had a Steinway that was brought here. It was a custom-made Steinway for her, and it still is played, and that's one of the highlights in the house that you can see when you come into the library. The house had both indoor plumbing and it was electrified, which was very surprising, I'm sure, to the people who lived in the village at the time, because that was probably like 30 years at least before most people had either of those. Another fun thing you can see if you go in the kitchen, which is a bright candy pink, which we think the cook, Miss Rose, really liked that color pink. So the tiles are that pink color, most of them are original. And you can actually see in the kitchen the original Frigidaire refrigerator, which we thought had been melted down for the war effort in World War II, but it was actually found in a shed in Manio and is on loan to us. So that's fun to see. They also built a boathouse, which is also on the National Register. It's a bright pink salmon-y color. Upstairs, they carved decoys, and then they even had a place where they could store corn. They also had a miller's lift that would bring the decoys from up the second floor down to the first floor. They had a boat area where they stored boats. They also had 2 bridges, one of which we have today still on the property, and that's also on the National Register. Well, I personally feel that coming to this property when you're on vacation actually kind of gives you a real understanding of the history of the area, of the culture of Currituck.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
Back on OBX Today Live here on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Sam Walker on this beautiful Wednesday. Little breezy offshore breeze today. And you can see out there all of our shots, live shots from surfchecks.com and others. A little bit of a swell. It's kind of odd. You know, there's Avon. There's a little tiny swell there. Not much in Rodanthe. Or that's Jeanette's. I'm sorry. We'll start our sequence. There's Corolla. Really just ankle slappers. Jeanette's barely anything there off Whalebone Junction. Let's see, get the Rodanthe shot. A little bit more swell down south this morning. Same thing. There's Avon Pier. Hatteras, that's a little bit choppier just because we got that onshore wind out of the southwest. And then, of course, our shot from Silver Lake in Ocracoke. We'll stay with that one for a moment here. There we go. Well, the Avon shot's probably the best surf. I bet you we got some guys will be out there today. Water temperatures in the mid-60s down on Hatteras Island still. Upper low 50s on the North Beach. So, you know, if anybody's really has a hankering for some surf, I'd be surprised to see him out there. Although it's not really all that much to ride. All right. In sports here on OBX Today Live, NC State folks still upset about what happened yesterday as the Wolfpack were supposed to play UCLA last night in the Holiday Bowl out in San Diego. 5 hours before kickoff, the word broke that UCLA had players that were testing positive or had tested positive. Pretty much their entire defensive line they didn't have a defensive line, and that was enough for them to cancel. There's a lot that's been said on Twitter. There's been a lot that's been said on the interwebs. Yeah, doesn't look like the State's going to get an opponent. They have been holding out hope of possibly somebody being able to play today before State's charter flights this afternoon back from San Diego. It's not happening. East Carolina, that's been the other. Since East Carolina had their game in the Military Bowl called off against Boston College, their athletic director, John Gilbert, said that Monday that the Pirates season was now complete. He relayed the same message to Corrigan on Tuesday. As soon as it was announced that East Carolina was going to play, you had several players already say they're going to transfer up the portal, including one from Elizabeth City, Travion Freshwater, that played at Northeastern. He's going to transfer. You got players doing that. Everybody's gone home after getting basically spending their Christmas getting ready for a game that didn't happen. The other was SMU, possibly, since Virginia couldn't play them. SMU said they're not happening. They can't get their players back to campus. Memphis was supposed to play Hawaii. That didn't happen. They said the long trip they had to deal with just getting to Hawaii was enough. That was difficult enough, and then trying to do the same thing. There was talk about San Jose State, but there was no way to get their players back in time to really make it work. They hadn't played since Thanksgiving. So it looks like State's not going to get a bowl game for a chance to play for a 10th win. Now, with that cancellation, that means that ECU and State haven't played their bowl games. The Carolina, of course, supposed to play tomorrow in the Duke's Mayo Bowl against South Carolina in Charlotte. The game's still on right now, but they've had all of the pre-bowl events. We'll see if they can get that game in. Now, whoever wins, fans or residents in the winning state get a little bit of an incentive. Bojangles says they are going to give away free iced tea on New Year's Eve to whichever state wins. So if Carolina wins, then, hey, we're hitting Bojangles New Year's Eve to get free tea. If South Carolina wins, then they're getting the free tea. There's only one Carolina. Sad news, of course, yesterday evening coming out. John Madden, the legendary football coach turned broadcaster turned video game icon, died at age 85 unexpectedly. It was announced by the NFL yesterday. 3 decades, the only announcer to work for all 4 major networks on their broadcasts. Really revolutionized football analysis, and no one's been able to match him since. Pretty much having the fun that you're supposed to have when you're doing that stuff. John Madden, 85, passing away yesterday. All right, college basketball today. They're East Carolina home to take on Wichita State at 7. Wake Forest at Louisville at 8. And NC State at Miami at 9. Duke, Clemson, of course, postponed because of COVID-19. Virginia Tech at UNC also postponed. Still working on trying to get those made up. But go back to the bowl season because we do have 3 bowl games today. Maryland and Virginia Tech play at Yankee Stadium in the Pinstripe Bowl. Down in Orlando, it's Clemson and Iowa State in the Cheez-It Bowl. And the Valero Alamo Bowl in San Antonio has Oregon and Oklahoma tonight at 9:15. All right, so OBX Today Weather Center forecast on this Wednesday morning. We do have, first off, a little bit of rain on the way tonight and into tomorrow. It's not going to be a whole lot of rain, but just enough. But before that, we're going to see some possible record high temperatures in spots. 70 possible at Hatteras today, and 76 for inland areas under sunny skies. For tonight, mostly cloudy. Showers overnight, low 58. Then Thursday, chance of showers, possibly a thunderstorm, and a high of 67. Thursday night, showers, likely possibly a thunderstorm, then showers continuing low 51. Friday, mostly cloudy. We start out with some showers the morning and 63. Friday night, mostly cloudy. Scattered showers possible Friday night, but it's kind of still the timing on that may be after midnight for the beaches, for Mania especially. So we'll see. Right now, everything's on for Midnight Magic and Mania, but we'll keep you posted on that. New Year's Day, showers and 73. Then we're going to get some heavy rain possible. Inland areas especially, right where the areas that need it the most for the drought. Showers likely into Sunday and a high of 70. Then Monday, sunny and only 45. Tuesday, sunny and 52. So we're going to get some winter after we get the new year started, it looks like. Now, well, temperature-wise, we're not getting wintry weather. But I did want to pull up this one map here before we wrap it up. As, is that, nope, that's the drought monitor. Where is my map that I had pulled up? Oh, where'd you go? Okay. Oh, there it is, 3 to 7 day. I wanted to keep that one. Yeah, I want to keep that bookmark. We're going to, yeah, you can't really, yeah, you can see it. The brown area here in eastern North Carolina, that's where we got the drought. We're in the green for heavy rain on New Year's Day and Sunday, but it looks like that's more inland now than it was originally. So it looks like the area is right along the edge of the areas where we really need to get the rain. So we're going to better look at that map. I may have to do some zoom down on that and get you a better shot of that for tomorrow's show. Coastal Marine forecast for today. We are looking at southwest winds 15 to 20 knots, gusts up to 25 knots. They'll be kind of backing down as the day goes on. 2-foot waves in the sound seas, 3 to 5 feet. Water temperatures mid-50s in the North Beach, now in the mid-50s on Hatteras Island again. But as you get down on the south side, you could be in the 60s on that South Beach and Hatteras and on down to Ocracoke. Next tide change at Oregon Inlet's a low tide at 9:54. Sunset tonight at 4:57. Sunrise tomorrow at 7:11. Currently outside the studios in Uptown Nags Head, we've got 64 degrees. JP, I can answer that question right now. Right now, there is no announced plan for any new blades on the Jeanette Spear wind power turbines. I'll hit up Darrell Law at Jeanette's Pier, North Carolina Aquarium, and find out if they've got any plans for that. Right now, JP, no, from our understanding, no, those blades aren't going to be replaced anytime soon. But we'll get you the details on that. All right, that's going to do it for today's edition of OBX Today Live. I'm Sam Walker. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday morning. Back for our final show of 2021 tomorrow, presented by Gallup Funeral Services. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow here on OBX Today Live.